Welcome everybody to the fifth of hopefully many Degenesis lore drop videos. Before we start, huge shoutouts again to all the commenters and subscribers. Thank you very, very much. And to all the people who are, actuallying me in the comments, pointing out minor mistakes that I might have made. Thank you also very, very much. Your corrections make these videos much more accurate and frankly better, so please keep them coming. Another thing is that I hope to be able to keep the light, medium, and heavy spoiler structure of the videos, but as we dive deeper into the meta plot, the light spoiler sections will probably get a lot shorter, which is already the case in this video, because Aspera is pretty mysterious. Anyways, I hope you'll enjoy the video. The Marauder Aspera is also known as the One-Legged. She is described as a red-haired woman with pigtails protruding from her head, her face emotionless like a plastic mask. When she speaks or smiles, her expression splinters as if it had been caught under a thin layer of ice. One blink later, the cracks have healed, and her face seems immaculate as always. Her mechanical leg moves nimbly and silently. Stabilizers rotate, kinetic cylinders veer around, automatically adapting to the best angle. She is lithe and fast, a huntress. But whom or what she hunts remains a mystery. Over the past century, she has let herself repeatedly be found by the chroniclers. Sometimes, she immediately reveals ancient knowledge that the fragments had locked away in the depth of the static stream. Sometimes, she demands a sacrifice. All who approach Aspera set the wheel of destiny in motion. Before the Asheton, the Marauder Aspera was known as Christine AspeNson, the member of the Recombination Group's board that was responsible for creating space orbiters. Christine AspeNson appears in 2 of the 3 transmissions of Jahamet, found on the mysterious artifact called Jahamet's Will. In the second of the 3 transmissions, she can be heard in a conversation with Recombination Group board member Viktor Karmanov, in which the two talk about 3 important topics. The first topic concerns the space station in Baikonur, which the Recombination Group wanted to buy, even though the Kazakh and Russian governments tried to interfere. Only an intervention from the Chinese made the purchase possible in the end. This information places the conversation somewhere before March 4th, 2059, which is the date mentioned in the Russian newspaper article that reports the sale of the space station. The Recombination Group bought the station to start a project called Asper, which most probably was led by Christine AspeNson and was concerned with the creation of space orbiters. The second topic is a meeting between Nikita Karmanov and Jerome Gatrell, of which Viktor Karmanov, Nikita's twin brother, was ignorant. The subject of the meeting was Nikita's project, which ultimately led to the creation of the corresponders, able to override the Marauders' bloodstreams. The third subject is Jahamet's disappearance after his speech in Mecca. Viktor Karmanov and Christine AspeNson reveal that they were critical of Jehammet when he joined the recombination group's board, and Asperson suspects that Jerome Gatrell knew that Jehammet would eventually embezzle recombination group funds in order to build up his religion. In the third transmission, we witness a conversation between Asperson and Jerome Gatrell, in which Gatrell philosophizes about death being humanity's main motivation to strive for higher goals. Asperson seems to be rather annoyed by Gatrell's speech and uninterested in his philosophy. The disregard she showed for Gatrell's ideas might have been the reason why he did not let her into the Free Spirit program. Christine AspeNson also joins a stream conversation between Viktor Karmanov and the woman known as Y, in which the two talk about a terrorist attack committed by the apocalyptic sect and that Y most probably orchestrated. Karmanov and Aspera criticize Y for not being careful enough when it comes to hiding her involvement in the attack, and Asperson concludes that Y has become a liability. Aspera has been collaborating with the Chronicler cult for centuries after the Eschaton. She was the one who drew the Chronicler's attention to the Tannhäuser sleepers who had infiltrated the cult. This alliance gave her access to nanite blood that she extracted from the sleepers that she executed. The blood ensured her survival, while it helped the Chroniclers to keep their cult clean from foreign influence. For this purpose, the cluster created a mirror of the static stream to which sleepers who infiltrate the sanctum of the Chronicler's data archive are redirected. Unbeknownst to them, they are barred from the true static stream, while their bloodstream is analyzed for nanites before Aspera makes a move. In the first of the Degenesis Rebirth books, there is a short story about a group of chroniclers who encounter Aspera in Borca in the year 2359. The story is told by an eye narrator who is not named and who traveled the icy regions of Borca with two cult members called Monitor and Delete. During their encounter with Aspera, the chronicler Delete is exposed as a sleeper agent. The Marauder extracts his nanite blood, killing the infiltrator in the process before she leaves. In the 25th century, roughly 400 years after the Eschaton, the so-called City Wars shake the Borcan region that would later become the Protectorate. The period of the City Wars deserves its own video for sure, so I will keep it short for now. In the years before the war, the city of Exalt rose to power in the region. Led by free spirit sleepers, its inhabitants raised a utopian society based on the values of self-determination and cooperation. Exalt swallowed more and more of its surrounding regions before Tannhäuser agents began to oppose their hegemony. Two Exaltian legions marched into war. One was led by the free spirit Ensef and marched toward the Janus crater. The other helmed by the free spirit Trice and marching in the direction of Noret. the forbidden domain of the Marauder Gusev. What followed is shrouded in mystery, but records kept in the emanatorium of Cathedral City claim that Exalt openly called for a hunt of the Marauders, the enigmatic creatures from the depth of time who nested along the fringes of Europe and stood accused of being the architects of Project Tannhäuser. While the Northern legions under Ensef appeared to be leading a successful assault against the monstrosity called the Vulture, that is, the Marauder Argyre, the Southern Leagues ran into surprise opposition deep within Norid's territory and were annihilated by a coalition of Anemoi and the machine men, Amsumos. Yet, the defenders did not score a clean win. Allegedly, Trice escaped the turmoil with blood-soaked trophies of her own. We know that the trophy that Trice took this day was Aspera's leg, which the Marauder actually did not lose to corrupted nanites, as stated in the Catharsis book. We also know that before the city wars, Aspera first contacted the Chroniclers, warning them of Exalt's true intentions and urging them to cut their ties to the free spirits. If they didn't heed her warnings, they would face their personal Armageddon soon enough. To convince them of her sincerity, she presented the fragments with a relic of the static stream she retrieved from the lost archives of Cathedral City. Before the Chroniclers could ask any more questions, the enigmatic Marauder was gone, leaving the hooded cultists to their own devices. Aspera also supplied the cluster with intel about the advances of Project Tannhäuser and Exalt's opposition during the city wars. The two ideologies founded by the Recombination Group stood and still stand in direct conflict to one another. One tries to establish a new age of obedience and total domination. The other wants to initiate a chaotic rain of blood to wash itself of sins past. Both threaten to turn Borca into hell on earth. The Chroniclers initiated the Shudder program and responded with a purge of all sleeper agents in their midst. After the events described in the Black Atlantic adventure, the Free Spirit Sleepers Trice and Ensef join forces and infiltrate the underground world of Justitian. There, they gain support of the demagogue Vesna and take control of her local Paler horde. They have plans to assassinate Gusev and Aspera. The Chronicler streamer Eliza is one of the chosen few who know about the sleepers that have been infiltrating the Chronicler cult for centuries. She is the only Chronicler in direct contact with Aspera, and she is also the only one familiar with the Marauder's current hideout. A secret that Eliza has sworn to take to her grave. Aspera has settled in the heart of Cathedral City, amongst the Anabaptists. The last place one would look for a Marauder. She has been covertly helping Modus, a paradigma disguised as a fragment, to access the hidden archives of the original streamers that used to dwell in Cathedral City. It seems that the two Marauders have been working together for some time. At least, they have both fought side by side against the free spirits of Exalt and have been wounded during their fights. What the extent of their alliance is not entirely clear at this point, yet we do know that the two Marauders have been instrumental in the cultivation of the fragments, the high-ranking Chroniclers. Gusev and Aspera helped the aspiring tech cult through its darkest hours and convinced the Chroniclers that a reboot of the stream would usher in the end of the world. Project Tannhäuser would then be unstoppable. Getrell's orchestra of final human selection would begin its symphony. Alright everyone, thank you very much for watching the video. There are not that many open questions that I have. I mean, first question could be, what is the alliance between Aspera and Gusev about? Were they friends before the Ashaton? Did they come together after they realized that Getrell had betrayed them? And what is going on with Modus inside Cathedral City? The only other information that I got is that he is a fragment from the Chroniclers, but apparently he is not a fragment at all, but a paler. This is the moment where I now retreat and cry about the Cathedral City book that never has been released. On the other hand, maybe we will get some new info on that in Clan Wars, which you should check out. Link is in the description. Please comment, like, subscribe, do whatever, and especially have a great one.